I don't see us on Facebook.
Oh, we're here.
We're on there.
Oh, we're joining Wells is very Untitled Chapter. Yeah. So we're just so you know. I forgot to tell you guys.
That's the screen sharing.
Just popped up.
Joy Wells is going to talk about the new chamber. Oh,
Yeah, we're live streaming.
Yep, it just came on.
we good?
Yes.
Welcome to the February 23rd, 2021 City Council meeting. Roll call, please.
Mayor Webb,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Lucero,
Here.
Councilmember Sullivan,
Here, calling in from Hazel Park, Michigan, Oakland County.
Councilmember McFall,
Here.
Councilmember Londo,
Here. Council will need approval of the agenda as presented.
I'll move approval of the agenda items, Mr. Mayor.
I'll support.
Any discussion, additions, deletions? We have an agenda. I'd like to open up to civic announcements. Anyone having any civic announcements from the audience? I should say the Zoom audience. City Council, any civic announcements?
I've got one. There is a ticket amnesty. It is from March 1st through April 9th. It's the first time that this has been offered in about 4 years through the 43rd District Court. And they will be waiving bench warrant and late fee charges. So if you are a resident with tickets like myself, you can call the court in the city where you got the ticket between 9 and 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then they will set you up to go and take care of it. And that includes traffic tickets, parking tickets, and civil infraction tickets.
Okay, thank you, Luke.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I have one as well. This Saturday at 1 o'clock at Green Acres Park, there will be a nature discovery event hosted by the Hazel Park Parks and Recreation Department in cooperation with Oakland County Parks and Recreation. Again, that's Saturday at 1 o'clock. Nature discovery at Green Acres Park.
Okay, thank you. Close civic announcements, public discussion. Anyone have any public discussion on the Zoom?
Hello?
So we have a Jesse raising his hand.
Oh,
Anyone
I
else?
thought I heard somebody else speak first.
Who else was this? Who else is there?
It's Lisa. Jesse can go first.
Okay. Hi, Lisa. Anyway, Jesse Robertson, Historical Commission. I actually have just a small update that I wanted to bring. As pursuant to the motion from last meeting that we pursue and start a committee to look towards a sort of celebration for the city's 80th anniversary next year, we did take care of that. Commissioner Ben Kronk has kindly volunteered to chair that committee. We are currently now looking into brainstorming and thinking up our ideas. Fortunately, we've got plenty of time. Secondly, I did want to give a thank you as well to the hard work from the City Attorney Amanda Mason for the assistance and help on writing the bylaws for the Historical Commission. That was a lot of work. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. Ms. Johnson.
Hi, this is Lisa Crouch Johnson, 29 East Madge. I'm not sure if I should talk about the hall now or wait for the it to come up on the agenda.
I think we're going to have a public hearing, so I think we should have it on this particular topic. So, City Attorney.
I believe that allowing the resident to talk during the new business would be appropriate if the council is comfortable with that.
With that, everybody else good? All right. Please, if you could, would you please wait?
Yes,
Thank you. Anyone else with public discussion?
Not sure. Is Joy gonna talk during the public discussion, or do you want that during? She can talk, right after you close the discussion, then I'll answer.
Anyone else? We'll close public discussion. We have-
Councilmember McFall, hold on. Councilmember McFall, is this where we were introducing the chamber thing or no?
Yes,
Yeah, we're gonna do that now, Mr. Campbell.
we're going to introduce Mr. Klobuchar. Would you please introduce it?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of council, we have Joy Wells here from the Southeast Oakland Chamber. She can speak more about that. Obviously, we've spoken to all of you about this, but the city of Hazel Park is looking to affiliate with a different chamber of commerce to improve services to our business owners and chamber members. So without further delay, I will turn it over to Joy, and she can talk a little bit about what we have discussed with that chamber.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity. I am excited to announce our new chamber namesake, the South Oakland Area Regional Chamber of Commerce, which is made up of 3 neighboring cities, Hazel Park, Oak Park, and Ferndale. And the description of our physical geography creates an acronym that we think is a fitting adjective for what we expect to do in 2021, SOAR. This newly formed chamber is an exciting extension for all of the affiliate communities, presenting new opportunities, not only for our small business communities, but for larger businesses and regional industry leaders. The strength of this powerful chamber will also lend itself to a positive residential impact within all involved communities. Our executive board is comprised of Josh Champagne of Incubizo serving as board chairman, Blake Shear of Level 1 Bank serving as treasurer, and Mia Peroni of Quick Checkbooks serving as secretary. The new board of directors encompasses 4 veteran board members, 9 new members, each of the 3 communities having equal board representation, and we are the first Oakland County Chamber to include Oakland County Economic Development team member, being served now by Annika Norris. This is a pilot year for us with lots of learning and many growth opportunities. We are currently working on our programming, events, and membership engagement, just to name a few. It is important to note that the programming we are assembling is being carefully crafted, so it is relevant for all. The small business communities and industry leaders in our region will find programming specifically addressing their unique business concerns, whether that is networking or advocacy or a myriad of possibilities in between. We recognize that chamber benefits and services are not a one-size-fits-all conversation. We have resumed our monthly coffee connections as we want our members to stay aware of these new and exciting changes. We also want them involved in the new program discussions. The coffee connections are currently being held twice monthly virtually. We are utilizing a new platform that allows for one-on-one conversations, and we are excited to offer such while we continue navigating through this virtual meeting space. We feel like this platform brings back a portion of human connection that has been missed throughout the pandemic. The next scheduled is Tuesday, March 9th, and anyone interested in attending can email me at joy@ferndale-chamber.com to receive the necessary registration information. And these are open for anyone to attend regardless of chamber member status. And in closing, we have launched a landing page for our new website, www.southoaklandarearegionalcc.org. And I anticipate the completion of the website before the end of March. Until then, everyone is encouraged to stay informed of this progress, upcoming events, and ways to meet our board through the newsletter, website, and social media. And if anyone would like to be added to the newsletter, you can also email joy@ferndale-chamber, and I'd be happy to accommodate.
Well, thank you for coming and informing us of everything. And looking forward to working with you.
Thank you.
If I could just say something, I would like to applaud Joy for her vision, for helping bring this all together. Because I really feel like this is an exciting time for Hazel Park. This will not only give us a larger voice, including at the state level, but also allow us to have a lot more resources for our community. So thank you, Joy.
Thank you.
And it takes us to our consent agenda. Motion to approve 1 through 6.
Mayor, I move approval of the consent agenda items 1 through 6.
Support.
Any discussion? No items? Moves us on to administrative reports. Public hearing of resident number 02-008-21, approval of PY 2021 annual CDBG application. Will be your pleasure, council.
Mr. Mayor, the administration respectfully requests that you open the public hearing.
Oh, sorry. Open a public hearing for the CDBG application approval process. Anyone person to speak on it? We will see no one. Close the public hearing. Now we can have a motion to move forward.
Mr. Mayor, the administration respectfully requests that the governing body approve the resolution for the allocation of the 18 block grant dollars.
Mr. Mayor, this is, we actually might get some more money or less money. This is just a guesstimate based on last year's numbers. It'll probably go up only up or down $1,000 or $2,000. And we, again, have set aside a certain amount of money pursuant to council requests and frankly, the amount of good work they do with Haven.
For the record, Mr. Mayor, members of council, I'd like to point out that when I took over this we used to get 140,000.
It's only been going down every year.
It's been going down steadily for decades.
I'll move to approve the resolution approving the obligation of public PY 2021 Community Development Block Grant Funds as recommended.
Support. Any more discussion? Dissension? Motion passes. Discuss traffic order, control order number 515, section X. Prohibition of left turns from Cousins Avenue into Tri-County Commerce Center. This is Grayson Jones.
Mr. Mayor, obviously you remember that we recently passed this traffic control orders to alleviate a congestion problem with respect to Amazon vehicles causing backup at Cousins. We received a request from Ashley Capital that we modify that traffic control order to allow left turns into the other lot on the other side here for the other businesses. It's created a traffic control nightmare for them to have to go around and not be able to utilize that for left turns. So I have given a suggested motion to the colleagues. I gave it all my copies, but this modification would enable us to this modification would enable us to have some flexibility with respect to left turns there into the lots that are non-Amazon lots for those businesses.
Mr. Mayor and council, we spoke with Ashley and then we have figured out and Amazon has acted appropriately, so better than they had before. Tim can speak to this too. I'm not going to ask him to, but it has looked better than it has ever, partly because we found somebody who's actually been at the company for longer than 5 months. So, or at this location for longer than 5 months. So I'm pleased with the response and the progress. However, that is, again, I think this is always going to be a challenge, but if we have the ability to lessen this, except, right, people still will not be able to turn into Amazon's lot on the left, which is the southernmost remote lot. But this gives, and it's a safety issue with people driving around building 2 behind the truck docks. So there's some safety concern regarding that as well.
Okay.
I see, I drive up and down there all the time. And I thought there's also a no left turn on southbound Cousins into building number 1. Is that where, the sign's right there where at building 1? I mean,
no,
whose driveways are right next to each other.
I think there's 2, the building 1 entrance and the building 2 entrance are right next to each other, but it's the furthest one south for building 2 that's causing the issue, that where they need to get out of or need to be able to turn left into. And that's where most of the backup was causing the problem.
Okay, because I'm still seeing people turn left into this building 1 where the sign is.
Okay, well, we'll address that with them and get, if we have to, I don't want to we'll address that with them. Make sure that that gets handled.
But I also do recognize there has been far less traffic on Cousins, far less Amazon Prime trucks on Cousins as well. They redirected their flow of traffic outside.
They have staggered and redirected.
We've got a lot less complaints.
And frankly, cutting it back by 4 hours, the amount of time these bans is a big deal too. So they're only doing this for a 3-hour window instead of an 8-hour window, for example.
Okay, council, will be your pleasure on this order.
Mr. Mayor, I move to modify TCO number 515 and conditionally remove the no left turn order from Cousins to building number 2 at the Tri-County Commerce Center, with the caveat that the administration has the latitude to immediately reinstate the no left turn signs into building number 2 if the problem reemerges in the future.
Second.
Any more discussion, dissension? Traffic control order changes on. Takes us to boards and commissions, like the appointments of Gary Harrison, Mike Mazzucchelli, and Ron Nagy to be on the board review beginning March 1st, the next board meeting.
About Mike Mazzucchelli. I talked to him. He said he's expressed a desire to leave every year. I told him
It's temporary.
that I told Mr. Mazzucchelli that he could leave in 2027.
That's temporary.
So, he did complete the training, the ongoing training with Gary Harrison. And we'll get around maybe to that next time.
There's a motion, please.
I move to appoint Gary Harrison, Mike Mazzucchelli, and Ron Nagy to the board of review.
Support.
Any more discussion, dissension? Motion passes.
Mr. Mayor, I have one more recommendation under boards and commissions. The administration will respectfully request the appointment of Mike McFall to join youth assistance along with Councilman Lucero.
Do we have a motion to that effect?
I would move that motion.
I'll support.
Any more discussion? Apparently not. So everybody seems to be happy. Motion
Mr. Mayor,
passes.
youth assistance has been recently invigorated, and we've always done a good job, but they're doing more, and we're looking to partner with them to do some more things to benefit the youth in the community. So now we've got 2 council members on there. Again, Andy's been a big supporter of a long time number of youth assistants, and I'm sure Mike will enjoy participating as well. That group has been getting some stuff done. So,
Okay.
looking forward to joining.
I look forward to it. Thank you.
Takes us some new business, business license revocation appeal for 21502 John R. of the Ivy Room LLC again. I'd like to talk to the city attorney about this. Would she like to mention anything about this?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. As our honorable mayor, city council, and administration know, this is not the first time that there's been an appeal before the city council regarding 21502 John R. We were just here in October for a revocation hearing, and that was heard on October 13th. That was premised upon a large group of people that were in the building and spilling out into the parking lots, et cetera, greater than 200 persons with open liquor, loud noises, and it was after 1 o'clock in the morning. The appeal was heard. Council Fallon Moore appeared on behalf of the business license holder, and this council did make a motion to reinstate the business license. It was carried unanimously, and there were, among other conditions, the following conditions that were set forth on October 13th. That's 1, that the business shall cease operations at 9 o'clock p.m. and 2, no outdoor activities without prior approval of the city manager's office. Post reinstating the license, there was a noise complaint received by the Hazel Park Police Department on October 31st. There was a complaint of reckless driving and loud noise by patrons in the parking lot. Upon the police arrival, there was a group of Mopar cars, and they were advised to cease that type of conduct. On January 23rd, a noise complaint came in this year at approximately 10:25 p.m. And in fact, the individual who called said that the music was so loud, it was literally rattling the windows on her home. At approximately 12:22 a.m., going into January 24th, a resident called the Hazel Park Police again, stating that there was loud noise, arguing, blowing horns, and individuals looked like they were going to start fighting, and it was quite loud. The resident filmed the activity that was occurring that she called, and we do have a video that we would like to share with City Council. The resident, Lisa Crouch, who has remained to speak with us, is the resident that videotaped this on her cell phone at approximately 12:21 a.m. on January 24th. I believe Mr. Campbell has the video that he can play for City Council at this time.
Go ahead, Jeff. Mr. Campbell.
As this video demonstrates, this was all spilled out into the residential neighborhood, and it's well after the 9 p.m. established by the City Council. On January 26, 2021, a notice of business license revocation was served properly upon the business owner and including her counsel. It was also posted and served. And as this video demonstrates, there are continued violations. One, the auto spilling out into residential neighborhood, blowing horns, loud yelling, etc., violates the Hazel Park Municipal Code as to disorderly disruption, which is an offense against the public peace, Chapter 9.58. In addition, the loud noise, the bass, the music loud enough to rattle the resident windows, inclusive again blowing horns, loud yelling, etc., violates our municipal code as to nuisance, as it annoys or endangers the public peace. In addition, on October 13th, the City Council specifically reinstated the business license with conditions that the business shall cease operations at 9 p.m. or have written authority by the city manager. There was no authority given for that kind of conduct to disrupt our neighborhood and public peace. The January activities occurring between 1/23/21 and 1/24/21 in the early morning hours constitute a continued disregard to the state and local laws and ordinances. They lack a courtesy of how the conduct negatively interferes with our neighborhood and its quiet use and enjoyment. And it demonstrates operating outside of the license specifications as established by this council on October 13th. Therefore, the revocation should be upheld.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to have an opportunity for Ms. Johnson to speak to. I'd like to have,
Alan Moore. Council for-
Hello.
let's just have Ms. Johnson speaking.
Yes, yeah, that will be fine.
Go ahead, Ms. Johnson.
I'm Lisa Crafton, 29 East Madge. The video that I recorded, my windows were closed. That was from my bedroom window. The cars literally go right outside my door and my window. My daughter has Asperger's. Part of her medication and her Asperger's is loud noises and afraid of people outside the house, starting fights, things like that. It woke her up. She had came in and I had to give her a sleeping pill and anti-anxiety medication that night. And she had to sleep with me to get her calmed back down. There is another neighbor on here tonight that had wanted to speak also. She's several houses down from me, and she heard it all too and had called also, and we've just have a lot of issues.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
The opposing counsel for the Ivy Room here.
Yes, Council and Sir Mayor, Attorney Fallon Moore, good evening.
Good evening. Go ahead when you're ready.
Okay, absolutely. So a few things here, Council and Sir Mayor and City Attorney. The notice that was issued for this current revocation doesn't really speak to what exactly Ms. Shorts is contending today. The notice simply says due to continued violations of state laws and regulations. So first and foremost, I think that the notice is insufficient and, you know, essentially did not give enough detail and for me to actually to counter what City Attorney is saying here today. And so that is number one. I did understand her contentions today, and I understand that this is not a continuation, but this is the second revocation hearing. So that is indeed understood. But however, if this revocation is pertaining to a noise complaint, or whatever other violations, that definitely should have been addressed in this notice.
Okay.
I do believe that Ms. Fallon was provided copies of the complaint and copies of the CDs. So I do believe that she was given exactly what we're relying upon this. And in addition, it is continued violation of, as stated in the first sentence, state laws and regulations and local ordinances.
What statute did you say this?
The state laws pertaining to nuisance and disorderly conduct and disorderly behavior as enumerated within chapter 9.58 and chapter 8.04 of the Hazel Park Municipal Codes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now that, if I may, that I understand what your contention is, what you're saying here today. And yes, you are correct. I did request discovery on this. So you did in fact provide the CDs the disc that was just played, the video. I did in fact receive that. But essentially what you're alleging today, Ms. Shorts, is that there is some sort of nuisance violation, and there is no indication of that on this letter.
There is indication by violation of the local ordinances. In fact, the information that was provided at the 1013 City Council, this is a continuance of those violations when that spillage out of greater than 200 persons disrupting our neighborhood. The source of contention with this business located 21502 has been ongoing. And it included, among other things, on how the disruption of the quiet use and enjoyment to our neighborhood has been ongoing. It's a huge problem. That's why they received a letter back in September. That's why there's another revocation this time. The information that we are relying upon has been provided in its entirety to Ms. Moore by way of CDs and information. The notice was proper, inclusive of directing her to the appeal process as required.
And as a business owner and as the residents of this city, we all fall underneath the Peace and Morals Act and what the ordinances of which we all uphold within our community. And that is virtually just for respect and courteous, to be courteous to our neighbors. And we've given you ample opportunities. This is the second opportunity we've had to come back to you for a hearing. And I wish it wasn't so, but unfortunately we're here today and for those violations, and our city attorneys advised us to move forward with this.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part. I didn't hear it.
Our city attorney has advised us to move forward.
Okay, well, it is definitely, our position as far as my client, the owner of the establishment, is that I do understand the issues with the residents, and my client has been working diligently, myself included, with the city attorney and all departments involved to rectify any issues that came about. And I'm sure Ms. Schwartz can speak to this. You know, we've.
Let me ask you a question, please.
Yes, go ahead.
If this was near your home, would you like it?
Well, I actually live in the city of Detroit, and so there are quite a few establishments that are near my home that conduct this same sort of activity.
Answer my question.
Yes, what is,
If it was right next to your home, would you put up with it? Would you not want your city to advocate for you as a resident?
again, I live in the city of Detroit. I live in very close proximity to a venue hall. And yes, of course, I would want for my city to, of course, advocate for me, but also as a business owner, because I am a business owner as well, I would want due process and, you know, my business taken into consideration as well as the thousands of dollars that my client has put into this establishment.
I understand. I'm going to turn it over to the city attorney. I think we've had enough hearings. I'd rather just.
I do believe there may be another resident on Zoom.
Is there another resident on Zoom?
Is there another resident on the Zoom call that wishes to address the city council?
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Moore, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I do recommend that the revocation be upheld. This is an ongoing issue that should have never had an ongoing tag to it. This council was very gracious, was very clear. This video was shot after 12 a.m. and this council was very clear with a 9 p.m. And therefore, based on the interruptions of our neighborhood, its quiet use and enjoyment, it would be my recommendation we upheld this revocation.
The administration concurs with the city attorney and humbly request that the revocation be upheld. This is certainly in the best interest of the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of the city.
Does the council feel need a motion to make the uphold revocation?
Mr. Mayor, I would move that we uphold the revocation of the business license at 21502 John R. Road, the Ivy Room LLC.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Lakira,
Yes.
Councilmember McFall,
Yes.
Councilmember Londo,
Yes.
Councilmember Sullivan,
Yes.
Mayor Webb.
Yes. And thank you for your time. That takes us down to the communications from the department heads. Any department heads here that would like to speak? Chief? Jim?
Hello there. Can you hear me tonight?
Mr. Young, we can hear you too.
All right.
Tim Young, we can hear you.
Very good. So last council meeting, we tried to bring up about frozen pipes. Mr. Klobuchar was kind enough to step forward since my mic didn't work and handled that beautifully. So he got the word out. But now we're into a different direction with this weather and we are now getting into this thaw. So we did put out, Jared helped me today, get it online through the social media, some advice to the residents with this thaw on how to keep their houses and their basements from flooding up from that melting snow. The biggest thing will just be more or less get that water directed away from the house as best you can and make sure your sump pumps are working properly. But with all this snow melting, there's a chance you might see some seepage from time to time while this is going on. So I just wanted to put that out there so everybody's aware that this can be an issue if they do notice some things.
All right, thank you, Mr. Young. I appreciate it. Mr. Campbell?
No, nothing. Thank you for hearing the CDBG stuff. They had a shorter timeline this year because of transition at the county level. And I do appreciate you guys getting that to us in such a quick fashion. Thank you.
Thank you. I see we have two city attorneys here. Amanda Mason, would you like to speak?
No, thank you.
No?
She said no.
No, she said no.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Swartz.
No comment, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Klobuchar.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, first of all, on behalf of the city of Hazel Park, I'd like to extend our deepest sympathies to the family of Ruth Lindsay, who was city clerk in the city of Hazel Park from 1967 to 1985. She passed away 2 days shy of her 100th birthday, and I want to recognize her for her many years of service to the city of Hazel Park and extend condolences to her family. She did an outstanding job. She had a fantastic reputation, and again, sorry to hear of her passing. Beyond that, I just want to remind everyone that Michigan's system of municipal finance is fundamentally broken. And while we're hopeful always for assistance from the federal government, and we're hopeful for changes at the state level, we may always remain master of our own destinies, and no one may help us but ourselves. So we're trying to do all that we can to position the city of Hazel Park not to survive but thrive in the future. So I want to thank Mayor and Council for their efforts tonight, and that's all that I have.
Thank you. Councilperson Sullivan, you're up first.
Well, surprise. I want to thank everybody for attending. I want to congratulate Kevin Crush on his swearing in today, and also wanted to thank Amanda Mason for her hard work with myself and other members of city administration on developing the bylaws for our historical commission. I look forward to that board really getting going and getting some great things running. I really look forward to that. And also I wanted to thank Joy Wells and Mike McFall for working so hard on developing our new regional chamber. I think that it's another development in the progress of our city, and it's something I'm really proud of, and I'm grateful to be a part of this team. So thank you. Everybody stay safe, keep washing your hands, wearing masks.
Thank you. Councilman Londo, welcome.
Thank you. I got a couple of thank yous. First and foremost to Ed and the city team, code enforcement for just being so great to work with during our snow emergency. Where I'm originally from, 6 inches is a dusting, but down here the infrastructure is a little bit different, and I appreciate all of the work, the fact that everything went so quickly, the roads were plowed very quickly, and I sincerely appreciate that. I'd like to recognize a couple people who are LDS missionaries in Palmer Park. They shovel a lot of residences, driveways, and sidewalks for free as part of their ongoing mission. So I'd like to recognize Cody Coates, Caleb Ikimo, and Nicholas Fatafehi. And then additionally, Chief Buchholz is here. Thank you for 2 of your finest for going out and shoveling the driveway and sidewalks of a resident who is in need. And please let Officer Toro and Officer Perkins know that I sincerely appreciate it.
Will do. Thank you.
That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, if I can piggyback on what Lou said, our DPW did a fantastic job. We had Hazel Park cleared before any other city in southeast Oakland County, and I'm so proud of the work that they did. They just did a fantastic job. So thank you, Lou, for recognizing those folks.
Councilman McFall.
I too would like to thank, I'd like to thank Tim and his crew, the DPW. I know we had some water main breaks in the city, and so I'd like to thank them for their hard work and everything, because I know it's not easy when we have freezing temperatures and you're having to be out there all wet working late at night. So thank you very much for that. I'd also like to remind everybody that the state has extended the restrictions on restaurants to 25% until the end of March. There wasn't really an announcement, but just so you know, that extension is still in effect. So please, please frequent our businesses, our restaurants, our bars. If you're not feeling safe to actually eat in-house, please order takeout whenever possible and support our local businesses. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Carroll.
I want to comment about the business license revocation. Just to make sure this is not something that's taken lightly. This is not something we do often. This is not something we even want to do. It's when everything else has failed to gain compliance, when the issue is continually presenting itself as a problem, we have to take action. It's not something we don't revoke many licenses. It just doesn't happen that way. So it's got to become an issue when we do it. So I'm standing behind what we've done 100%. I don't think anybody's ever won an appeal, outside of us. We gave them a good chance, laid out some good parameters. Please operate within those, and everybody's happy. And I would not want to be living within a few houses of something that loud of music. I have to deal with it on Hardy, just cars driving up and down. By the time they're gone, you can never see it, but they're blasting the bass is vibrating, the windows going up and down the street. That happens. But to have it 20, 30 feet from your window, that's just not right. So anyway, if you love somebody, tell them, and if you have children, give them hugs every day and tell them have a great night. And thanks to everybody for coming out and participating.
Thank you. I also would like to say thank you to the DPW and Tom Jones's crew and Tim Young's water department crew for doing a fabulous job in getting out there and handling the situations in the deepest, hardest cold weather we've had in a long time. And thank God we're into a little bit of a thaw here, and maybe we can enjoy the 46-degree weather we had today. And I too, want to speak on the revocation. We give them many opportunities. This only happens to this point when communication is broke down from one party or the other by not wanting to help work through the situation that we're all trying to work through. As a business owner, I see it, we all try to help other neighbors, other businesses, or residents. There's a certain amount of courtesy and respect as a resident and business owner, if you're either or, for your neighbors. And that's why we have the Peace of Morals Act in our statutes, and not just us, all the other cities. And I feel that that's necessary to hold a standard for all of us to strive for, to be respectful for our neighbors. And that's to me is very important, that we can have that freedom to live in harmony and tranquility. I also want to say thank you to all the police chief for getting on a couple of things this week that's happened in our neighborhoods. I'm not going to mention them, but I'd like to say thank you for reaching out to us as city council and informing us, as well as our city manager. And anything else, I'd like to have a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor, I just got a text by the chief of police and Tim Young at the exact same time to remind me to inform our residents that the Shevlin Bridge across I-75 will be coming down this weekend. Pedestrian bridge, Southwood Myers will be coming down this weekend. I believe it's the Bernard Bridge and pedestrian bridge. No, Patel.
No, it's Highland Bridge.
Highland Bridge.
And they're closing southbound 75 Service Drive, and then the following week.
And the service drive will be closed this weekend, and then the southbound service drive. Businesses will be open. There will be a way to get to those businesses. We met with County's Finish Line today, and we're going to be putting up some signage. So make sure you go there on Friday and get some of their fish. It's fantastic. And put that shameless plug in there for them. They not only had to deal with COVID, and now their primary point of access is shut down. So we created another access for them, and we put up some signage to enable folks to find that and access that. So please, Mike McFall is right. These businesses are struggling. Please patronize them. Thank you.
Mr. Kovacher?
75.
Traffic will be moving around everywhere. So.
Pastor Scott.
Sorry to interrupt, and just before adjournment, one, I had a little difficulty signing on, and number two, I just have one comment. You mentioned the service drive. That will absolutely affect us because we sit right there at Shevlin, and
South of you.
It's southbound.
Southbound service, right, not northbound.
Well, I talked to the guy named Rich from one of the contractors, and he was saying the northbound service drive is going to be shut too.
It will
And
be very briefly.
the bridge is looking to open again in maybe June to be finished with what's going on and what have you. So I just, I want you
Make
to.
sure you have ample way to get to your parish.
Yeah, we'll do our best to make sure that you have some kind of access, Pastor. We'll speak with the I-75 construction crew. As you know, this is not our project, it's a state project. Sometimes
Right.
sometimes they do not. We'll do our best to make sure that you get some access.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. And we'll look forward to going forward. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you, Pastor. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Lots of important.
So my first election is someone-
All the way to the.